All right. What's up, guys? We are live. That door open behind me. It's going to bug me a little bit. Let's go turn it off or close it. Turn off a door. I don't know. I'm special in that way. How you guys doing? Good morning. Happy day after Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. Speaking of Black Friday, I forgot I was going to look to buy a grill today. Smoker grill. How much is Traeger doing for a Black Friday sale? Anything? What? I literally clicked the button and it didn't bring me there. Traeger. Oh my word. I'm not spending $4,000 on a grill. What kind of Black Friday deal is this? I don't want to grill that bad. Anyone have any good smoker grill recommendations? I want something, before we talk about stocks, of course, we always have to talk about the almighty grill. Looking for something like pellet fed, like wood pellet. I'd like it to be able to also be a smoker, but also I want to grill on it. I don't want propane. So Graphics, a good smoker. Do they also have a grill? Don't get pellet fed. Why? What's wrong with pellet fed? Get charcoal gravity series. Traeger, yeah, I know. I just don't want to buy. I just don't want to spend $4,000 on a grill. I'm not crazy. Better smoke tint. Okay. Master built. I'll look at master built too. Oh, see this now we're, oh my gosh, my computer. This is better. This seems better. Can I get a smoker grill combo? Charcoal. How much is this one? $1,000? Are they not even doing a Black Friday sale? I don't even think they're doing a sale. Well, all right. All right. I see Pit Boss in here too. I was looking, my friend had a Pit Boss smoker and it looked pretty fun. Nice. Just made some amazing ribs on my Pit Boss smoker grill. I was literally just over at my buddy's house for Thanksgiving yesterday and he made us some beef tenderloin on one of those Pit Boss smoker grills. It was great. It honestly was phenomenal. I'm not looking to go be a barbecue pit master or anything, but I want something fun. But I've got some good options. I'll keep those screens open for later. Pardon me. I hope you guys all had an amazing Thanksgiving, first and foremost. We're back today. I took the day before Thanksgiving off for the most part. I did end up trading afternoon on Wednesday. Hit SMX. Got in here at 11. Best sell was $19 after hours, and I was so happy with it until it went crazy. So it was still a great trade. It was a great trade, but that was my best trade of the day. Was that afternoon breakout around $11. Still on watch for today. We got a day 2 gap up. Generally, these lean a little bit more short bias, but we got a half day today. Yeah, we got a half day today. I wanted to keep an eye on CETY. What's this one doing? Gapping down a little bit. This is definitely one I want to keep an eye on. I'm going to get rid of BIYA. This is a first green day. No news. A lot of resistance at 37. Tops out at 39. Not so surprisingly. Now we're beat down. Could this turn into something? Maybe, but we just have a boatload of resistance. I mean, like a lot of resistance. Here up in this 37 area, traded about 400 million shares, 350 million shares that day, excuse me. So the odds I think this turns into anything are pretty slim. So I'm going to take this one off the screen. ADTX, unfortunately, this was trying to be like the next SMX, and it just didn't and couldn't. It kind of blew off pre-market. And it seems like that's all we could get now. Again, our glass wall concept here. We got lots of resistance on this just built up from the intraday. I'd say really between like 420 and 470 rather. 420 to 470. Lots of resistance in here. Now, if we get over 470 to start consolidating near 5, I'll be slightly interested. But for now, that's going to be a back burner watch. KTTA, listen, this is untradeable. It did the same. This to me is untradeable, right? We were kind of watching this happen. This big dip, recovery, next big dip, then it broke low day, then it recovers, breaks highs in the after hours. Then we get a new high down to low, back up to highs. To me, like this is fun to watch, but there's no trade on this one. You could buy aggressive dips, I guess, but seems a little scary to me. CETY, keeping an eye on this for a third day surge. Get rid of all the drawings, I guess. Kind of had a sideways day yesterday. I wish it was gapping up, but it's not. But I'm going to keep an eye on it for over this kind of 230 area, just to, again, keep an eye on it. SMX top watch for the day. So here's the thing with day 2 gap ups, guys. We have big day 1 move. Day 2 gap ups, generally speaking, they are wide range in both directions. You very rarely see a day 2 gap up just completely flush and not bounce. Not saying it's impossible. But what I like to see are dips for a long. So I'll be looking for dips. This is one of the rare instances I'll be looking at dip buys, just marking out kind of support and resistance levels from after hours yesterday. I'd love to see down into 25 for a squeeze out. Now, if we just start ripping, great. Probably not going to be the easiest trade for me. I'd like to see this 27 to 25 area, which I know is a pretty aggressive dip, but you got to remember we closed yesterday around $17. So we've got a lot of room to the downside where shorts can get comfortable, but they're still underwater from previous day. Not nearly as much volume traded in the after hours session. So I'm going to be looking for dips down into that. Like I would really love to see $25 for a starter. Got to take small size. And if we look to start getting a bottom forming around 25, then I can move risk down to that low. But again, these are small size, wide range plays for me. So that's gonna be my top watch for the day. Am I late? I'm late. Top watch. Yeah. SMX. Oh, I also should mention, I know some of you guys have been like asking about Oracle and DIT, the daily income trader system. I do want to let you know they are actually running a Black Friday sale today. So I can also drop that link in the chat or in the description if you would like. I just messaged me. Let me check and see. I think they're running like $500 off, which is a pretty good deal. I can also drop that link along with TradeFunder today. I know some people have been asking about it. So if there's a day you're going to do it, today's probably the day. I think there is a discount code. I think it's like BF25, but yeah. Oh, looks like I actually already have the link. Yeah, so if anyone wants it, just, I don't know. You just message DIT in the chat if you're interested in getting the daily income trader system. Again, they're doing a $500 discount, I believe. Yeah. But again, I'll talk more about that in a few minutes. KTTA offering and hasn't dropped. So I think KTTA, if I am correct, I think they priced an offering. But I don't know if they've actually done the offering. KTTA, just a weird chart. SETI, I'm going to put this back into our multi-day chart. And we'll go at this 1 minute level. All right, SMX halted down. Perfect, good start. Again, get shorts aggressive out of the gates here. And I'd love to see this dip into 25 to 27 for a small starter size. KTTA halted up. Is it actually? Oh my gosh, it is 185. Again, I just can't touch that. On a day like today, especially for me, I really just like to so we got a couple of good runners today. Couple of good runners. SMX though, like just the one to watch for me. It's by far my top watch. So I don't like to spread my focus too aggressively, especially when I don't really think the other setups are anything that special. KTTA is definitely weird, and I'm not saying it can't go crazy, but I'm just saying I've got almost no trust in its levels. Can you trade pre-market and after hours with TradeFunder? You cannot trade after hours, but you can trade pre-market starting at 4 a.m. It's 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time you can trade. What about Beat? I don't really like it. I don't like the daily chart enough. What am I expecting after the halt? I don't really have an expectation for it. Again, I'm just waiting patiently for a dip down near 25 bucks. That's my plan. Cool. Yeah, just chilling right now, waiting. Obviously, we got about 2 minutes left on this halt here for SMX. Besides that, I saw something that's saying ABVE. I'll take a look at it. I don't like that at all. Yeah, it's just a hard no. They dropped their PR too late, unfortunately. You got Ento moving a little bit. I don't like that daily chart at all. That's gonna be an avoid. Yeah, main focus definitely SMX at this point. Again, I would probably take a starter around 27, but I'd really love to see this 25 area, even if we get a slight break underneath it. Again, we very rarely, I'm not saying it's impossible, but very rarely just see these straight up dump and not come back. Or at least try to come back, a pop into VWAP or something, which I should probably have up on here. Yeah, so VWAP here is at 33. One more halt down. One more halt down and then open down would be sweet. I don't know if we're going to get it. Pretty aggressive bounce back. I would not be shocked to see this go to like $60 today. It's just a matter of it's halting up, trying to halt up 35, 63 is the next halt level. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see this break pre-market highs at the very least. And then if we catch some momentum, I wouldn't be shocked to see like $60, kind of our next resistance level. I say that in air quotes because there's really not any resistance by volume on this. It's pretty a daily chart with a lot of room to move. CETY holding up at least, not doing anything special. KTTA unhalted, open down. ADTX doing a whole lot of nothing. Again, I got to see it building a base over 470s. So SMX, that main watch. And, here's the truth of days like today. So remember, it's a half day today. The market closes at, is it noon? What time does the market close today? I feel like it's noon. What time does the market close today? I feel like it's 12, but I'm not 100% sure. I need a subscription. Oh, come on. I'm not buying a subscription. One p.m. Okay. Nope. Is it 1 p.m. though? I feel like it could be 1 p.m. You guys probably have a better idea than me. You're probably telling me in the chat right now. 1 p.m. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Well, appreciate it. 1 p.m. Okay, so where I was going with that, though, is like on shortened days like this, there's just not as much volume. There's not as much not as much volume, really. And so because of that, we just generally speaking don't tend to see it. It's very hit or miss. Like sometimes we'll see some really low volume, crazy squeezers like SMX potentially. But sometimes we see nothing. Sometimes literally nothing happens and you just don't really get that much opportunity. So I don't like to, today is definitely not a day where I'm going to force anything, but I do have a plan on my top stock. Again, top stock being SMX. And, hopefully it can play out. Hopefully we can kind of see some really crazy holiday action. I will say the markets have definitely shown some signs of life Wednesday rather. It gets me hopeful for December. We all love to be a little hopeful. I got a nice little trend forming here. I'm not buying a trend break on SMX. I'm really only looking to buy dips. I've been burned a few too many times buying momentum on day 2 gap ups. I do feel like ATTX could be something like for a scalp. I can't touch it. I think that the odds are a bit too low. The truth is, I wouldn't be surprised if when SMX dumps, if and when, that we see ADTX start to rise. Kind of like a reverse sympathy, basically. Like when liquidity is taken from one, the other tries to work, kind of deal. And SMX trying to halt up. Halt level is 35.99. It's trying. Can't do it yet. The halt level is probably going to move. Yeah, couldn't halt. Not yet, anyways. Not yet. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, I mean, funny, right? As SMX starts working, ADTX starts dipping here. All right, 36.36 is the new halt level on SMX. It's trying to halt up as we speak. Looks like it's a real halt. I think it's a real halt. All right, so I think we're halted up on SMX. Oh, not yet. Not yet. Should be any second there. There's the halt up. Unfortunately, so it actually did hit one of our support levels, but I was really hoping for lower support being built here in pre-market, that roughly $31 level, and then that also acted as a bit of resistance in after hours yesterday. I was definitely hoping for high or for lower, but you can't get them all. Again, not one I'm going to be super bummed if I missed this one, just because I know we talk a lot about setups and patterns and all that. So day 2 gap ups are very volatile, but so they can be great. However, because of that volatility, like unless you're getting pretty optimal spots, the risk can also be quite large. So if you're just buying the first dip, I see these things dump so much farther than expected and then run so much farther than expected as well. So I say that because these are trades that I'm not going to be bummed about missing out on. I think they're, generally speaking, maybe not today, but there are easier, more predictable setups out there. Day 2 gap ups are not my favorite, but they can offer great opportunity. What platform am I using? I'm using Stocks to Trade. I actually just threw that link in the description for the Daily Income Trader. If you guys, again, it should be on YouTube and Facebook. It comes with the Daily Income Trader system as well as like the Oracle scanner. I'm just throwing that in there. Yeah, I mean, so SMX, the entry signal, for example, on Oracle today is 37.87. And then we got just a bunch of other stocks on there as well. Actually, that's a good point. I didn't even think about Open. Kind of forgot about Open, to be honest with you. Open, I feel like, OPEN, I mean, I feel like that's just bound for glory. Oops. That's a daily chart of, I mean, that's a really impressive daily chart. So, yeah, I mean, that just, anyways, this whole thing, Oracle, Stocks to Trade, the scanners and screeners and whatnot that I use, those all come with the Daily Income Trader system. So I feel that link in there. There's like a big discount for Black Friday. But if anyone wants the actual link, just send in the chat. Just message me about it. What don't you use TradeFunder platform? For my charting, I use Stocks to Trade. I don't trade on stocks to trade. I trade on my brokers. TradeFunder, I had a couple other brokers too. A stocks to trade is not a broker. It's just charting and scanners. Where's Neg? Let's see. Where is Neg? I'll take a look at that on one of my other things quick. Actually, Neg's daily chart doesn't look bad either, to be completely honest with you. Jax, you're funny. Did you guys all have a good Thanksgiving? Got about a minute left on SMX here. TradeFunder trading platform is extremely hard to use. That's why I don't use it. No, I think it's just fine. It's very simple. I use, again, I've got like 1, 2, 3. I have 4 different trading platforms open right now. I have Thinkorswim, TradeFunder, a different broker, short broker in case anything pops up, and then stocks to trade. So I have a specific purpose for each one. Like for example, I think stocks to trade and Thinkorswim, I think they're great for charts, great for scanners. Then I think my brokers are great for actually just executing the trade. So yeah, I don't chart on any of my brokers. I mean, I have like the charts up, but I don't look at them. I have them pretty shrunk down. Larry, you and I must each be using a different TradeFunder because I get near instant executions on TradeFunder. I know a lot of folks have too. Yeah, I'd reach out to their support because I've never once had that problem. And I know a lot of folks who've used TradeFunder have also told me the same thing. You might want to reach out to them and see if there's any issues, bandwidth or latency, or just anything on their end. But yeah, almost no slippage. Yeah, I don't know anybody that uses TradeFunder that's got any problems with executions. In fact, I think TradeFunder has some of the best executions that I've worked with. Especially coming from like if you go from a commission-free broker to something like TradeFunder, it's shocking rather how quick those fills come. So definitely reach out to them. Their support is in the yeah. I was hoping that wasn't just me. I was like, I know for a fact mine are great. I feel like I've talked to other people here. I know Jax, Ruth, Michael Kelly. But yeah, I mean I use the online version, Jax. I use the online version. But yeah, if anyone here is having any issues with their TradeFunder, literally just go email their support. It's on the bottom of their website, the link. I'll send this link over in the chat, by the way. Just for those of you guys who are getting TradeFunder or looking to get TradeFunder, now it's in the chat as well. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Yeah, down at the bottom of the page, there's support emails down there. All right, SMX squeezing, broke pre-market highs. I mean, send it to 60, man. This is looking great. Next halt level is $42.40 as of right now. Now $42.84. So I got it's got a couple of bucks to go. Man, what a dip though. That was, I mean, for anyone who was more aggressive than me, nice dip buy. That's $10 a share right there. My only problem is like you kind of had to risk probably $10 a share at that dip level. Like 20 would have probably been a reasonable stop out. But still, good opportunity there. ZYXI. See some of you guys talking about getting a little squeezy. Yeah, ZYXI, I like more for tomorrow. That's kind of an inside day here. Very low volume. ZYXI is OTC. Is that real? No, it's not. Okay. It's like I don't think that's true. NASDAQ. Okay. Um, yeah, ZYXI, I think that's better for a third day surge on Monday. So I don't really love it today. ADTX halted down again, right? As SMX starts to work, people's focus SMX halted down. Dang, that was pretty lame if that's all we're getting on it. Halt down on SM. Oh, fake halt? No, not a fake halt. The dip buy, in my opinion, at this point is kind of ruined. I think I don't really love it so much for a dip anymore. Because we just failed our pre-market high breakout quite aggressively. This is what I mean, though. Big range, right? Big range on both directions. So if we kind of clear this drawing set here, I mean, we just had $12 a share just about worth of range from bottom to top, and then we instantly slammed down. It's just very choppy. Again, if you're buying that dip, you did have a good opportunity, but if you weren't quick, you're kind of screwed. So yeah, Michael Kelly is the Wick Tickler. Yeah, you've been on a hiatus. I overtraded. Listen, if I understand that it's trading. You gotta, for those of you guys who are kind of getting into this right now, and I say this just about every time, don't trade massive if you're not consistent yet. I think the benefits of something like TradeFunder where you can freely trade are huge. But if you go out and risk hundreds of dollars on every trade and you're not yet consistent, you kind of take away those benefits because you're more likely to probably blow up. What I would say for those of you guys who are still newer, right? I talk about I talk to some traders with this about this. Oh my gosh, words. I talked to some traders about this for those of you guys who are like, well, should you be using TradeFunder if you're not consistent yet? I think so. I just don't think you should be risking huge on it yet. I think maybe instead of risking hundreds of dollars a trade, you're risking tens of dollars a trade. Like risk $20, right? If it doesn't work, fine. You still have 200 losses before they shut you off. And I don't know a single trader who's going to go out there and take 200 losses in a row. I've throughout my entire trading career, the most amount of losses I've taken in a row are 12, right? And that includes when I was brand new. So like take small trades, and then just I downloaded STT. It's asking me to log in. No sign up. Are you already signed up? Like, are you a member? If you downloaded it and you cannot, and you don't have like an account, it won't let you log in. You got to have an account. But going back to what I was just saying though, like just trade small, right? I was crazy consistent as a micro scalper, but trying to learn not to do that any longer. That's fair enough. I know the feeling. I made a lot of my money scalping, and I had to kind of learn how to be a real trader, so to say, to kind of have bigger picture ideas. And I do think it is vastly beneficial to learn how to do that. But again, just keep the size small as you're learning. There's no need to go crazy. When I was trying to learn other strategies, and actually really anytime I do try to learn other strategy, anytime I do try to learn other strategies, I drop my risk down to like 50 or $100 for the trade, just to keep it small so I can practice. It's like almost like paper trading in a way where like I'll still make some money, but it's more about getting the data, right? And understanding what I'm doing right with that strategy, what I'm doing wrong with that strategy. And then I make myself earn the size up. Oh yeah, Blair, if you didn't sign up, then you're not going to be able to log in. So again, you'll need to purchase an account with stocks to trade in order to use it. SMX, we got just about 45 seconds or so before this unhalt. Keep an eye on it. Unfortunately, it's looking like probably not going to be doing a whole lot today trading wise. That's fine. I'm not going to get overly aggressive on a half day where honestly the opportunities are pretty choppy. Not my bread and butter, not my cup of tea. I'd rather wait. I have a feeling December is going to be hot. So just the way we've kind of been shaping up this past week leads me to believe we're gonna have a pretty hot November, or December rather. So not gonna be too upset if nothing pops up here today in the next couple of minutes. Keep an eye on SMX. We just opened up and we're not dumping, which is kind of what you'd expect after a halt down. A lot of chop here. Short selling at pre-market highs? Probably. I mean, there's a pretty good chance of that. Yeah. So here's my kind of logic on this, and I won't take the trade just because I think the risk is going to be too wide. But I think a breakout now of high of day is a really solid opportunity. I just think there's going to be a lot of risk. I don't think this is going to be like a 4-to-1 trade, but I do think a break over high of day, what that'll lead to are shorts who got really comfortable in that position, just slamming pre-market highs, who honestly might have been down into this and are now adding to their position. I think that could very easily lead to a squeeze out at this point. I just think the risk is going to be pretty wide. You're basically going to have to risk like $8 a share. But in the same breath, like seeing this thing go $20, I would not be shocked to see this hit 60 today. It's got to have a lot going right for it, but that's start number one, the breakout of the fake breakout there. Getting shorts kind of wrangled up. I don't think it's the worst idea. I don't think I'm going to take it because I just don't feel like risking $8 a share. I just would rather not. And like for me, it would probably add a little bit of stress, even though the size would be small. I don't have that much conviction for me to be that patient if it does start to work. Although it's like in the same breath, I don't really have a whole lot to do. I could just kind of set a stop and try to let it work. It is a good trade opportunity, especially for reference, this has got what we call reg show on it. And what that means, for those of you guys who've never heard of reg show before or have heard of it, don't know what it means. Reg show just basically means that like if a short seller borrows, say 100 shares, and then they short 100 shares, and then they cover, right? They now have to re-borrow those shares to trade it again. Like with a lot of stocks, if you borrow 100 shares, you can short 100, cover that 100, then re-short it if it bounces with that same 100 shares. With reg show, you have to re-borrow the shares every time, and that gets really expensive. And so what that can lead to, again, I don't look too far into it, but on a stock like this, it's something I at least consider, is that it disincentivizes shorts to cover early, right? Because they want to capture the meat of the move, because and borrows for this are pretty expensive. I'm looking on a short selling broker right now. What is SMX going for? 70 cents per share. So if someone wanted to take 500 shares of this stock, it's going to cost them $336 to take just to borrow the shares once. So then if they use them again, right, then they've got to do that again. And before you know it, a short seller can be working up a multi-$1,000 bill just for, I mean, this is like, I might try it. I might try it through highs. With a risk down on this last low here at 33. Wide risk. Again, like that held up way better than it should. I was expecting a bit more of a dip out of that, and we couldn't even break under VWAP. So yeah, with that all considered, $40.25, by the way, is the halt up level currently. That was a fake halt up. 40.78 is the new halt level. Man, they're toying with shorts right now. If I was short this, I would be so uncomfortable. I would be so uncomfortable. The low there is 33.89. So far, we just got kind of a reject there. A little bit of a dip. We'll see. A new halt level is 41.19. I'll probably look to try to buy into the halt up if I can fill. If it does try to halt up, of course. It's a pretty hard reject there against pre-market highs. But not, I mean, again, we've seen a harder rejection come right back. So yeah, if I was short, I'd be sweating. Because again, like, even if I've got a great average, 41, like let's just pretend I had like a perfect average. I'm not going to want to cover into a dip above VWAP, like, because then I'm gonna have to buy those shares back or borrow those shares again. So I'd be wanting to try to hold for a way bigger move. And then if I start getting squeezed out, I'm going to be a little bit more reluctant to cover for a loss because I'm going to be like, well, I got to borrow those shares again. Again, but like this is certainly a somewhat rare example of a time I would consider buying strength on a day two. But again, I got to keep the size small, risking roughly $8 a share if I decide to do that, $7-8. I guess it's closer to 34. 33.89 is the risk. So like $6-ish a share. All right. And the new halt level is 42.17. So it's $1 a share over current highs. Big bid wall at $39. You can see over here on the level 2. 39 is pretty thick there with a lot of buyers. They're getting taken out. They just got taken out there. But again, interesting. This massive wall of bidders gets taken out and the ask doesn't come down with it. These are also rare times where I'll like be pretty heavily considering what the level 2 is doing there. Yeah, because when you start seeing those massive walls of buyers getting taken out, generally speaking, you would expect to see a dump. There's a lot of selling pressure. But when that big wall breaks down and it can't, the ask can't come down with it, that's a pretty bad sign because now it just tells me that sellers are only hitting the bid. They're not actually moving the sells down with it. They're just hitting the bid. There's our high day. I just took a little long there at a stop order through high day. Got filled at 41.50, 41.40s. Just going to be risking that low right there. And we'll see halt up level is 43.46. We're tapping it right now. We're trying to halt up. Come on, we need the bidders up with it. We need the bidders up with it. It's trying. 43.46 is that halt level currently. It's trying so hard. The bid won't move up to 43.46, sadly. So we're probably not going to get that halt. I imagine the halt level is going to just move up. And again, like, it kind of makes sense that now the new halt level is 44.29. So, you know, with something like this, a big reason that the bidders probably aren't moving up is because if you're short, you don't want to be slamming out of here. Now we're halting up. Oh, baby, it's getting saucy. I'm looking for $60 on this, to be completely honest. Oh, snap. Short sellers are screwed, man. That's crazy. This could get fun. This could get real weird real fast. I'm looking for $60. Again, I don't have massive size, but 60 would be roughly 3-1. So, and that wouldn't be bad at all. That'd be a great trade. I would not be complaining. Again, I expect to see a lot of volatility. I expect to see hard pulls and hard recoveries. But man, this is fun. This is fun. Where do I see the halt up, halt down levels? Yeah, those are on my other, I've got other brokers where their level 2 show it. You got to have like special stuff to see that. So I just figure I'll let you guys know. I'll just literally, I'll show you where it is, but, or like tell you where it is rather, but nice. See, there we go. I love this. I love this. Rob said I'm in 10 shares at $40.60. I love that. Keep it small, right? You don't need, because now, so you're in 10 shares. You're in a couple $100 position size. Here's the fun thing. If that works, and let's say it goes to 60, that's a $200 trade, right? I mean, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. You don't need to go crazy, right? Like 200. Who in here type me in the chat if you would be happy with the $200 win? Maybe you're a newer trader, right? Who in here would be, or type 200 in the chat, because I want to show you guys that like you don't need to go out there and make these like try to go for these massive multi-$1,000 trades if you haven't even proven consistency yet. Like $200 is a lot of money. That's a lot of freaking money if you're not even consistent yet. And the cool part is you don't need to be taking massive size. There we go. I love that, right? You don't need to take massive. Now, again, I should like probably backtrack here. I'm not saying that you guys are going to make $200. I'm trying to show you that like you just don't need to take a huge position. So in something like TradeFunder, right? If you take 10 shares at $40, like I don't remember who it was that just did that. Rob did. So if your risk level is $35, you're risking $50. That's not crazy, right? To me anyways. And honestly, just in accordance to like TradeFunder's risk management rules, you have $3,750 that you can lose before they shut that account off. How many losses is that in a row, right? And on a pretty good quality setup. I'm not saying SMX is going to go to 60. I don't know. But like that's where I'm looking for. Even if you sell like $50, that's still $100, right? But or if you sell here, it's a 1-to-1. But anyways, what I was saying with that, roughly, so I guess you're risking closer to $70. 60, 65. Let's call it 65, because if your risk level is 33.89, you bought at 40. You're risking roughly $7. Okay, 70. We'll call it 70. 3,750 divided by $70. You can take 53 straight losses before that account got shut off. And the odds of NXTT. I just saw someone mention. I see that popping up on my screener. That's a very low volume so far. I'm not going to touch that quite yet. I'm not even going to put it up on the chart quite yet because honestly, I want to keep an eye on SMX. But anyways, as I was saying though, like that's a lot of losses on a pretty high quality setup on a really heavily shorted micro float stock breaking out after the fake breakout. We're buying the breakout of the fake breakout, which is already a pretty strong setup. And then we consider Reg Show being on it where shorts can't get out very easily. They'd have to re-reserve their shares. So they're more incentivized to hold longer as the stock is now going up. Like, what are the odds you're going to lose 53 trades in a row on high quality setups? Right? That's my take on it. So you don't need to risk massive is all I'm trying to say here. You can keep that risk in check and actually be able to see really awesome results. As long as you're being smart, taking the right trades and not being a total degenerate doing that on every random stock, right? This is why I'm here with you, not just to, I hope you're not blindly following me into a trade, but really more so to show you guys what I think the best trades are. There's a reason I avoided KTTA today. There's a reason I avoided ADXT today. Open still looks kind of cool, but that's more of a swing trade. All right, we got about 7 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open. There's 48, baby. Oh, yeah. Go to 50. Go to 50. Go to 50. All right. I took off a tiny bit there at 49. I took off about 20%. Topped out right at $50. We're holding up. We're holding up. We're holding up. Oh, almost. Tried to hold up. 53. Took off a little bit more there at 52. 53.68 is our new halt level. I've got over half of my size still left in this. We're halting up 53.68. At this point, I am going to really try my best to be patient. I'm probably going to do one more sell somewhere between 55 and 60 if we get there. But I've locked in some good profits here. I mean, guys, come on. Come on. Gosh, breakouts are back. Breakouts are back. Who here is locking in some cheddar? Who here is making money? Anybody? Anybody here? Type SMX in the chat if you hit SMX. You don't even need to still be in the trade, right? But who in here took SMX? Anybody? Type SMX if you're boom. Yes, amazing. Seeing me. I'm seeing a bunch of SMXs come through the chat. Let's freaking go. Let's go, man. Let's go. Small size, small profit. No problem with that. Again, you don't need to get rich off of one trade. Sweet. Sweet. Kim said it bought SMX at 39, sold at 50, got scared. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Literally nothing wrong with that. I love that you're selling into strength. Now, we just had 2 halt ups in a row. So I would not be super shocked if we get a pullback here soon. $500 shares at 40. Let's go, Evan. Evgen. I don't know. Let's go. That's crazy. If you're still in, that's a near what, $7,000 trade so far. Phenomenal. When is Dan Irish coming back? SMX in 37, out at 49. Beautiful. What are your thoughts on NVTS? I'm not going to look at it until I'm done with SMX. Is there going to be after hours today? I think I just answered that. Yes. When is Dan Irish coming back? Dan Irish, I mean, what do you mean? Like I actually just talked to Dan Irish the other day. He's doing well. He's trading just on his own. Can I explain how neg short rate affects the price action? Is that the correct title of it? I don't know what that means, to be completely honest with you. I know reg show. And we talked about that a lot. Rewind this video. We were talking about reg show earlier, kind of around this. After that SMX halt down, we were talking about what reg show is, if that's what you mean. But I'm not going to re-explain. You can go back into that chat into that video if you want to see what I was talking about there. But I do not know what neg short rate is. There probably is something real. Listen, I know what I need to know. I know enough of what I know. I know enough of what I need to know to make money doing what I do. But I'm definitely not like the most knowledgeable about like super all the terms and whatnot. What does it show as open price? $56 right now is what it's looking to unhalt at. 56.01 is where it's looking to unhalt. So I'll probably look to sell a little bit into this unhalt here. And again, I'd love to see if we can break over 60. And if we actually break through 60 pretty convincingly, like I'll probably just hold 20% of the position just to see if we can get some greatness. Come on. All right. Yeah, we're getting some weakness here. Again, I would expect a pullback at some point. This is oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's showing 70. It's showing 70 for the unalt. Oh my gosh. So I still got about just under half my position left here. I sold a little bit there at 59. I got about just under half my position left. Guys, we are murdering it. We are murdering it. Oh my Lord. Happy Black Friday, folks. I can buy a Traeger grill now. Now I can drop some bread on a grill. Let's go. Let's go, man. This is sweet. This is awesome. This is awesome. And like, I think one of the best parts is like we kind of walked through the ration. Okay, Unhalt is now not showing 70 anymore, but we are showing about 62 bucks. We'll have a better idea once we get closer to open. Yeah, guys, hold on. I just want to put John's comment here. Don't be upset if you sell too soon. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. There is a fine line between like selling too soon, as in you didn't even try to let the trade work. This is letting the trade work. I think selling anywhere above, really, I mean, like in my opinion, over 50 bucks, phenomenal, right? Especially if you're in that learning phase. If you're still getting this figured out, do not be worried that you didn't hit the top. I almost never sell the top, right? As a matter of fact, if we come over to my Twitter really quick, right, you'll see my trade I took on SMX the day before on Friday or whatever day. Oh my gosh. Feels like a Monday in a weird way today, right? Because of yesterday, Thanksgiving, the markets were closed. But on Wednesday, right? Take a look at this trade here that I took on SMX. Does it look like I nailed the top? No, but I made a great trade on this regardless. You don't need to hit the top. It far exceeded my plans. It was a great risk to reward trade. Like, that's all I can ask for in trades like these. So again, don't be bummed if you miss out on the top. It is okay. If this is all we get on SMX, then this is all we get. But I think that is a really important comment. Like, if you followed your trade plan, don't be upset if you didn't sell the top. By the way, we're going to be talking about TradeFunder here in just a minute, because for those of you guys who missed this trade, maybe you don't have an account to trade with yet. I don't know. It's more important now than ever, I think, to make sure that you are prepared for the next one, guys. I think this is just a taste of what we're going to be in for in December. I think these moves are going to be very frequent, these types of moves. I think short sellers have been way too comfortable for way too long, and I think that changes now. I think that's going to change for the next couple of months, and I think SMX is just the one that's getting the party started. The truth is, the higher SMX goes, the stronger the case is for there being another really strong move come Monday. Maybe even today going into the close, right? And by the way, the trades might not be done on SMX. We hit a really nice, easy spot. That isn't to say it won't reset up. So I want each and every one of you guys prepared to take that next trade, okay? So I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We got about 5 seconds before the unhalt starts. I don't know if we're going to get it. Yeah, halt. I think we probably just, again, we're bound for a pullback, I think, at some point. Looks like we're about to halt down, trying to halt down. We're halting down. I'm going to let it try to play out a bit here. Again, I'm not super upset by this. Still got just under half my position left. If we just start going halt down, halt down, halt down, and at this point, I think if we start breaking back under pre-market highs around $40, I'll just take off the rest, basically break even. Still having locked in a nice win on it. We'll see. This could be that area where shorts just start aggressively covering, who have been screwed. And then you also get some new shorts in off of that halt down thinking, okay, it's finally done. But yeah, I'm going to move my stop to break even. And there's a very good chance that was the end of it. And I'm going to go for an 80 sell, I think, just in case things get really funky. But yeah, we're indicating opening up around like 47 right now, which would be a very aggressive unhalt. So at this point, I expect the trade to take some time to play out. Yeah, I took off a little over 50% of my position for profit there. So, ladies and gents, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk about TradeFunder because we've already been going for a while here together, which I love doing, especially when we got a good trade on our hands. But for now, I expect this trade to take some more time to play out. I don't think we just instantly see this go back to highs. And honestly, I'm not going to sit here all day. I've got my orders in. If it works, great. If not, I'm stopping out the rest break even. So I'm actually going to head on over to TradeFunder here for a couple of minutes. And guys, what I want you to do, right, is for those of you who do not have TradeFunder, I want you to take a look at it because, by the way, I'm dropping that link in the chat here. I just dropped that link in the chat. So what I want you guys to do is check this out because you guys need to be prepared. And I understand for a lot of you guys who might be under the PDT that you might be a little bit nervous to like waste one of your 3 trades that you get throughout the week on a setup that you're not super convicted in. But when you have something like TradeFunder that allows you to, one, be over the PDT so you can freely trade, and then also be able to have capital to take multiple trades. You got 25, actually you really have $100,000 worth of trading capital to trade with, but $25,000 per position. Now, I'm certainly not saying that a trader would have or should have put in 25 grand into something like SMX, but what I saw a couple of traders in here do is take this with small size, and small size can still mean great gains. You don't need to have 10,000 shares of this. You don't even need to have 1,000 shares of this, right? Simply being able to even have like 50 or 100 shares and not need to worry about that one trade making or breaking your career, or not making or breaking how many trades you can take for the rest of the week, is a game changer. So check out the link that I just dropped in the chat. TradeFunder is doing a $600 discount off of what they would normally offer. It's normally $1,400 plus a $99 platform fee to use TradeFunder. Today, with this discount that you guys have here, it is $800 plus that $99 platform fee. So you're getting access to 25 grand to trade with, really 100 grand of margin, but 25 grand, call it, just for fun, for $800. And on top of that, they understand that, listen, if you lose some of your money, it's going to happen. $800 isn't much wiggle room. So they're going to give you an extra roughly $3,000 to lose before they shut off your account. they're also not in the business of losing their entire account. So they do have risk management rules in place, right? But $3,750. Again, if you took 10 shares here today, there was potential to lock in. I mean, my profit target was 60. Now I'm getting pretty aggressive on it, but that's because I'm feeling kind of spicy today. If anyone followed that exact plan, even 10 shares with our entry there, it's a $200 trade to risk like $70, 3 to 1. That is a phenomenal start to the day. Phenomenal start to, I mean, just for anybody who's looking to gain that consistency, it's a double halt here, by the way. Spicy. So I highly encourage you guys to go check it out. TradeFunder does do a profit split. It's an 80-20 profit split. Definitely one of the better, actually one of the best I've seen in the prop firm industry. Most prop firms do between like a 60-40 or a 70-30 profit split. TradeFunder, they're doing 80-20. And guys, it's a phenomenal deal. Meaning if you make 10 grand, you're keeping $8,000 of it. And then what you want to do with that is completely up to you. Like for me, if I was just getting started, again, first of all, number one, I really wish I had access to something like TradeFunder when I first started trading. It didn't exist. I think that would have sped up my learning curve drastically because I was always trading small size because I knew I just needed to learn. The problem was I could only take so many trades a week. And it was very unfortunate that I didn't have the ability to freely trade. Now you guys do. You don't need to go out there and risk the farm on every trade. In fact, I would probably encourage you not to do that. I would encourage you to learn how to do this the right way and to do it as safely as possible, right? By taking small size. I don't want you guys coming anywhere near the $1,000 daily loss limit. I don't want you guys coming anywhere near the $3,750 drawdown. I want you guys instead focusing on small size, small gains on predictable setups like we're doing here. I think traders who can do that are going to be blown away as to what those results can look like. So ladies and gents, go ahead, click on that link, check out and see if it's for you. I'm not going to sit here and say it's for everybody. If you're a swing trader, this probably isn't for you. You have to, it's a day trading account, 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you're a home run hitter, if you only like to go for home runs and you're just taking massive size on everything, hoping one of them will work, also probably not for you because, well, if you take one massive loss, they're going to shut off the account. So what I want you to do instead is for those of you guys who are working on consistency, to check out that link in the chat. Do you have to use their platform? No, you don't. So you can to trade on it, you do, right? To actually take the trades, yes, you have to trade through them. You don't need to use the charts though. Like I have different charting. They're literally looking at my stocks to trade chart, right? I use different trading platforms to like look at charts, different trading platforms to actually execute, to buy and sell my trades, different trading platforms to scan for my trades, right? But for those of you guys who have TradeFunder, you now have a brokerage account, you got an account to trade with, and you have an account that you're finally prepared to take these types of big opportunities like we just saw in SMX, that by the way, we walked through that thing every step of the way. Literally every step of the way we walked through it. So I want you guys to at least go check it out, see if it's a good fit for you. If it's not, listen, I don't really care. I'm just here because TradeFunder is partnered with Stocks to Trade, and it's an amazing opportunity for those who actually are going to use it and for those who think it's a good fit for them. But if it's not, no hard feelings at all, right? I'm just really happy to be able to work with TradeFunder and also as a part of Stocks to Trade. The reason that, by the way, the reason you're getting this discount is because TradeFunder is partnered with Stocks to Trade. We're a trading education company, been around for over 10 years. We had some really amazing traders come up through the Stocks to Trade community as well. I'm one of them. Matt Monaco is another one of them. And yeah, go check it out. I think it's an awesome deal. And again, if I were getting started doing this again, the way that I would personally do it, right, is I would try to hit that minimum profit target. I'd try to lock in like $1,000, $2,000, take out $800. So now that TradeFunder account is completely risk-free, and then just grow it from there. By the way, once you make like $15,000 of TradeFunder, they'll actually reach out to you and offer you access to a bigger account with more trading capital. I'm talking trading accounts like $100,000, some traders even over $1 million accounts. Because you got to think it's a business for them. While you get to keep 80% of what they make, if you start working with $1 million account, you have $100,000 a month, they just made 20 grand, right? Like you made 80, they made 100. And then if you want to go open up a separate account, like I have a bunch of different accounts that I use for different stuff. I use TradeFunder for big picture, long ideas, right? So anyways, my point being, go check it out. I think it's a great deal. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. I definitely don't have to be on live stream trading, but I think it's a lot of fun and getting to help you guys out. Again, I always say it doesn't really affect me. Like I'm taking the trades regardless. Sometimes you guys will hear me go radio silent for a few minutes as I'm kind of planning out a trade, and then I'll walk you through what I was thinking. But if I'm able to kind of talk it through in real time, all the better. So anyways, guys, go check out that link. I'm going to get hopping off of here. I hope you guys are all crushing it today. I'm glad you guys crushed SMX together for some of you guys here, but really amazing trade opportunities today. Get prepared now. I really do think the market's going to be really hot December, January, and February, and I want you guys ready to attack. So everybody, I will talk to you guys back here on Monday. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. I hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving. And yeah, until then, guys, take it easy. Have a great rest of your weekend. Keep crushing it. Bye.